You can use that application, and you can create new data, and you can modify the existing data in the Briefcase app, offline app. After coming back to your home, when you are connected to internet, you can sync back all the contacts of that. Okay, you can sync back all the data what you have updated, what you have created to your Salesforce application. Okay, Salesforce
Okay.
organization. So again, uh, what is knowledge user? Generally, what is knowledge? Knowledge is generally is useful in Salesforce Service Cloud. Some product knowledge. So if you are having selling a product called iPad, so what is the product configuration? What are the features? All this stuff information will be available with this. So knowledge user will contain important documents, videos also. For suppose if a person got a new product iPad, if you don't know how to install it, you have to share some videos or knowledge base to him. You can send out a PDF file, all this stuff. If he's facing some issues, that in case that all those options you can see here. Okay, solutions also comes under this part. Okay, all service cloud concepts. Say force.com flow user is is like this is a tool, small tool application. You can even do the flow diagrams from your Salesforce organization. What is a flow diagram? Salesforce flow diagram. Salesforce flow diagrammer. This is like you can you can do a step by step flow of actions with this tool. For suppose you want to uh, for suppose you have the call center which accepts the email address of the person who is contacting you. Based on that, you're gonna do the support. Okay, first of all you will take input from him, like user you ask him to please enter your email address. After entering email address, you're gonna decide whether this contact is already existing in Salesforce or not. If he's existing, you're going to open that contact. That's one route. If it's not existing, you're going to create the contact. See here, it's like a flow chart. From here, if it is existing, you're going to create so you're going to open the existing contact. If it's new, you're going to create a new contact. Again, if you're going to create new contact, again you will check whether this company, the company name is existing or not for this guy. If the company name is already there in the system, you will attach um, this current contact to that company. Otherwise, you will create a new company. That's one more flow. You put if else, so some type of flow diagram. That type of flow you can create for the support centers with Salesforce flow diagrammer. It's called visual workflow also. Okay, Salesforce visual workflow. You can even you put in drag and drop all this stuff. Okay. I think this is a developer task to do this type of stuff. Now they're slowly simplifying the things. What all you can do with this Salesforce for Force.com for user. And coming next to Service Cloud user. So Service Cloud user will be having a special feature. Means complete access of Service Cloud features in Salesforce. For suppose CTI integrations, Live Agent CTI. You can directly call to the customer or contact from your Salesforce organization, right? By putting down his phone number, or by going to the contact. If there is a button on the left side with the you can adjust it with you can that's called CTI integration with Salesforce. That can be done. And coming next to site.com contributor. So this guy is this is other option. If you check this, this guy has a permission to contribute some content to the Salesforce sites. Site.com means you can build websites with site.com. For suppose if you see HP, they generally host most of their websites and portals on Salesforce.com. If they want to publish some new product, the contributor will provide the images content for this. That is a contributor job. What is a publisher? Generally, publisher is a guy who will publish it. Generally, when you are adding some changes to your website, that will be in the draft stage. You can mm, so after doing some modifications, if you think if it's really good to go to production, if you really good to go to uh, uh, change the complete website to your new website, then you can publish this option. All these permissions of this publisher, all these permissions for publishing the application will be controlled by site.com publisher user. Okay. And what is work.com user? What is work.com? Work.com is a HR uh, p- performance management tool inside of a company. So what will happen generally in work.com is people generally share thank you messages, badges, um, to people, like for they do uh, so this really helps in gamifying the performing life cycle. So if there are five people in a team, if one guy is performing really good, if one guy is helping a lot of other people in fixing the doubts, in doing the work, people share thank you messages or people share awards to him, right? All these things will be tracked down here by digital badges in application. So if I click on my profile, I can see what all the badges I have received, uh, what all the awards I have received, what all the awards I have given to the other people. I can even share badges to other people, saying you helped me last evening in this problem, all this stuff. You helped me last evening in publishing the application. That type of things you can control. You can do this with work.com, and even you can take feedback from others. You can give feedback to others. You can analyze you can compare the people under your team. So if you are the manager, if you want to compare your colleagues, who is the best guy in our team to be promoted, to get promoted, then you can choose a guy with higher badges, all this stuff. Okay, higher feedbacks. That is a work.com is acquired by Salesforce.com is acquired Ripple, a company called Ripple, and they have made it as work.com with adding new features and integrating with Salesforce. Salesforce Classic User. Salesforce Classic User is is also an app, mobile app. So before Salesforce One application, people used to use Salesforce Classic mobile application. What is Salesforce Classic mobile application? It's like a old application where if you can install from your app store. If you click on that, you will see small icons for accounts, contacts, all this stuff. You can click on that and you can see the records of it. So the mobile configurations are only useful for Salesforce Classic users, because Salesforce One is recently launched like a couple of months back, not really used by most of the people. But Salesforce Classic mobile user option is used by many people. Okay. Again, data.com user type. um, Data.com user type means here I can select the multiple options. After selecting the data.com user, I have to put down the data.com I have to integrate data.com license to our Salesforce. What is data.com? Why is it useful? Generally, when you are getting leads from external system, you will be getting very small data about a person, their email address, their company. You don't know what is his role in the company, what is his phone number, what is his personal email, what is his Facebook Twitter ID, all this stuff, right? So all these options you can get it from data.com by linking with your Salesforce. So there is a option here to integrate in Salesforce. It's really easy. If you go to data.com, you can even see the pricing. So here it's a contact center. So these guys have a central database of all the people, of all the contacts in all the companies. So they have integrated with Jigsaw. It's acquired by Salesforce, and there's a one more company called DNB, where this company will store a lot of data of employees or people in all the companies. So if I want to talk to a CEO of Oracle, I don't know his phone number, but I can get his phone number and email address from this tool by integrating with Salesforce, and even you can use it separately also. You can use, but you have to pay license cost. Salesforce also you have to pay with integrations. Even personally also you have to pay this. Means if you don't want to use it Salesforce, if you want to use personally for one or two contacts, also you have to pay money and you have to use it. Okay. And see, this is the monthly limit. Based on the monthly limit, the license cost will be varying. Okay. If I'm selecting this, the monthly, I want 300 contacts monthly. The new contacts, not the existing contacts. So I want 300 contacts, so that it will be charging me that amount for me. Okay. So the number of contact, lead, and account additions available each month for this year. You can get the information about the contacts, leads, and accounts, because these three are mainly useful to store the company information, contacts information, and people information, and people who are interested in taking new products from our company information also. Okay. um let's and these are also little just simple settings for enabling charts, all this stuff. Quick access menu. So every time when I want to open the page layout, there is a settings bar here, right? This is called quick access menu. I can uncheck it if I don't want to use it. Make setup by default landing page. If I select this, all the administrators has to use this, because most people will go to setup if they have to do some modifications, right? They don't want to use the system, but the application users, end users, will uncheck this option. It's your own requirement. You can check this or uncheck this. What is development mode option? A development mode option is generally useful to um, enable the development mode for the developer, where if you enable this option, you can even code the apex in the half screen, and you can see the changes on the top widget. Okay. The view state will be the developer options will enable you to code the things directly in Salesforce pages. Unlike, people can directly go to develop and do the stuff also, but here if you enable this option, when you are creating view pages directly in the URL, you can directly code here in the bottom section in the editor, and you can see the changes top really immediately if you click on Command S or Control S. After saving immediately, if you put Control S, it will save and it will show the information not on the reflected information on the top. Same thing here, you will update the classes, triggers, all this stuff. So here, this way, the development mode is not, no need to enable development to access this information. You can anyway code here directly going to develop, but this option is only available. So this option is only useful for coding directly, instantly, and seeing the changes in the browser. What is view state? So this also comes to this also a small part of developer mode console module, where view state will show you what is the current state of the page, how much data this page is having, is loading from the Salesforce database, what is the total size of the data in the current page, all this stuff. You can see this. So if the data is really big, means your sometimes your browser may crash, because if you are not putting any limits on the data, and if you are querying a lot of data. Okay. And what is Salesforce CRM content user? So this is a separate license. So means not separate license, it's separate feature, content feature, like similar to SharePoint. You can share Microsoft SharePoint, you can share documents, videos, PPTs, presentation, everything on this. And so if you check this option only, you can use this option. You can upload content, you can use the content, and you can share the content, all this stuff. Without this, this feature is not enabled. By default, system administrators will be enable this, right? Okay, that's not a big deal. And receive, if I check this option, I'm gonna receive Salesforce CRM content email alerts. to my email which I have given here in the user profile. And again, Salesforce CRM. So what is alerts and daily digest? What happened in Salesforce organization? Who all mentioned you? Who? What all opportunities created you? What all opportunities under you has been modified? Like some type of group data will be sent you on a daily email, like single email. It will combine all the things. What are the changes? So you can uncheck this if you don't want that email to your email address. At one email, you can see all the information what happened today in the Salesforce organization. That's really productive. If you are not using Salesforce organization a lot, you can do this. Even watch the information from your email. Hello, forecasting. This forecasting option is I already said you. I think forecasting option is useful for estimating the future sales with forecasting. So I can say that from the next quarter, I can do $50,000 sales for my company. If you put that, my manager will put some data, my colleague will put some data, all the data will sum up, and it will be shown to your manager, and he can see, oh, I from the for next quarter I will make $1 million revenue, something like that. He can do that stuff. Okay, call center again. So in Salesforce, you can build multiple call centers, and again, you can attach some users to a call center. A person can be attached to one call center by clicking on lookup, and I can attach to a R&D call center or sales call center or a service call center. Okay. Phone, email extension is simple information. Mobile and email encoding, the email options like what way the email stuff will go on, and employee number. It's again a company employee number. You can give it off, and even you can give start day and end day of the employee and the working hours of the employee. Generally, uh, most people will have 8 hours work hours, right? So in that case, you can put 8 hours from morning 9 a.m. to evening 5 p.m. So that this start and work day is really important in case of support center, because uh, when a case is assigned to you means you have to there, there will be a specific time assigned to that case. In watch time, you have to fix that. For suppose there is a premium case, uh, sorry, there important case assigned to you where you have to fix in 24 hours. What is 24 hours? It won't count your sleeping hours. If you keep your start and end day as from morning 9 p.m. to evening 5 p.m., it's 8 hours per day, right? So what it will do, it will consider your day as 8 hours, and it will give you 3 days time for fixing that issue. Okay, before 3 days, if you're not fixing, means it will be escalated to your manager, all this stuff. So all the support type of things will be using the start day and end day, or company business hours also. There's one more option in the company profile called company business hours. How your company, what is your company timings, and what is your time zone, all this stuff will be there. This is a mailing address, and this is some single sign-on information ID. So if you want to do single sign-on integration with other Open ID or with SAML Open ID and other identity management tools like Oracle Identity Management type of tools, you have to integrate with this ID. Okay, there will be ID attached to each and every user in your organization. And again, with this, with one username and password, you can log into many applications. That's the feature of single sign-on. You might be knowing it. Most of the companies are using it. And coming back to local information, and even you can set your time zone. Based on your time zone, the records created in any objects will be reflected in the time zone only. Because uh, so for you, it will show in your time zone. For a Chinese guy, it will show in his time zone based on these settings. Based on this option, you can control the. You can see the exact time zone differences between each and every record creation, everything, and even the workflow rules also will also run in the same way for this user. What is again locally? I want to select as English. Sorry, locally, which locally I belong to, and even the language. If I change this stuff to Chinese, the complete application will be changed back to Chinese. or Japanese. I think it's Japanese. So you can localize your computer application because a US company is planning to start a venture, starting its branch in China. But Chinese people don't use English applications. What if you want to build your computer application in Chinese? It's really impossible and tough to build application for one guy. In that case, simply create a user profile with that guy and change the option here to Chinese. The computer app looks in Chinese and he can access everything as if he can access his own like internal apps of Chinese apps. He can learn very quick. Sorry, he can use it very quickly without wasting a lot of time, right? As they're comfortable with Chinese language. Because I went back because if I click on Chinese and click on save, if I go to something, I don't know where to modify where is local information because everything is changed to Chinese. That's the reason I came back. I'm clicking on save again. I'll claim again. And again, this is approval settings. What is approver in Salesforce? Um, Approver is a person who generally approves your request or requested from in approval process, right? In your case, approval process is generally enabled for important objects where you need some clarification or where you need some approval or signature from your manager or some finance head, all this stuff. Or suppose you are a new employee to this company and you have a relocation bonus and you can take up to $5,000 of relocation bonus, but unfortunately you have spent around $10,000. For that, you have to raise a request. You have to raise approval request to your manager because under below 5,000, there's no need to take approval request. You can directly get reimbursed. It means that option is available with approval process. That's called step by criteria based approval process. For 0 to 5,000, there's no approval process. From 5,000 to 10,000, you need to take approval from your manager. From 10 to 20,000, you need to take approval from your manager as well as from your finance head. The type of things you can put in approval process, and you can select your current manager. Okay, current manager who is going to be your supervisor in your company. Okay, that is the approver. This is the manager. Sometimes most commonly these most both the users are same. Okay, receive approval request only if I am the approver. See, again, if some people are working under me, that guys may submit approval request to me, right? In that case, I can select this option if I am approver or delegated approver. See, if I'm selecting this, if I'm approver of other guy or if I'm delegated approver of other guy, I'll be getting the approval requests emails to my email address. I can even approve the approval process from my email also by clicking approved or rejected directly replying to that email. I can do it from my mobile also, from my mobile or from my email also. Okay. Let's if I click on save again, the everything went come back to see English.
Okay, so this setting you do for user, right? For each user.
Yeah, for each user I can do these settings.
And what about the profile? You don't do you do
Yeah,
separate setting for profile.
generally in profile also you see some common information which you are seeing in user, because profile is a set
So
of
in
users,
user
right?
you see more than you see in the profile.
Yeah, some settings are common in profile and user, and you can see the say you can see this a lot more information profile in security settings, all this stuff. I will explain you if you want me to explain now. Do you want me to go on to that?
Yeah, yeah. Get into the briefly.
Okay, I'm clicking on profile. I'm clicking on system administrator or some other Salesforce.com read-only user or marketing user. Clicking on this guy. Now I'm at the profile. Okay. So one second. Yeah, now I'm here. Um, yeah, so this guy is using which license? User license called Salesforce. What is licenses in Salesforce? Just click on edit because I cannot modify the license here, but you can modify the license in the user profile. So user license is the top level license. Sorry, Salesforce is the top level license in Salesforce. If you come here, if I, so I cannot edit because it's my profile. Let's do one thing. Go to the other users. Go to this Nandir participant. Click on edit because I cannot modify my own user license because see this
You
option
have
is
to
there.
edit this.
The user license type. Here is the options. I think if I'm selecting simple read-only user, I will have more options than that. Okay, I think these are the licenses available for us. One is Salesforce, Salesforce platform, work.com only, partner app, force.com free, and force.com app subscription. I think the other options are really means not that great. Are useless in general scenarios. Salesforce is the main with more features. Partner app subscription is I think for partner application, and force.com free is a free version where you can it's a platform where you can develop applications for free and deploy to App Exchange. And Salesforce platform is also a separate license where you won't be having uh, much data. You won't be having many permissions, unlike Salesforce.com. So I can share you the sheet. What is the differences between these licenses and what are the features available? Okay, work.com only. So let's do one thing. Let's go here directly.
So in the user, fields actually becomes on the license, right?
Yeah,
So the powerful license you have, the more options you have, right? The more fields you have in
yeah. The more
the user.
cost. Generally, licenses you have to buy from Salesforce, right? So they charge you on
Yeah.
licenses. If you want 20 licenses, they will charge you for the 20 licenses. Okay, or you want user licenses in Salesforce. So if you have any issues, just go to salesforce.com help.salesforce.com and query help. Mm, so I want some detailed um, some differences. I just want to show that information to you. See the simple description about licenses. But what I'm expecting is view manager. So generally, I have a document, other document I think in my mission, where I can have the what is the features, special features in each and every five things, five licenses types. I'll share. Okay, if with you. Um, profiles. I think these profiles you can create. Most of the profiles you are seeing here are standard. You cannot edit the standard profiles. You can clone and you can create new profiles and you can modify that profiles. And what is a role? I think explained to you as next is class, right? Role hierarchy. This is something like a tree
Mhm.
type of structure in an organization. In what way people gonna report? So that tree will represent the reporting structure in a company. Obviously, CEO is the top guy in a company who will be seeing, accessing every information in the company, right? So he will be on the top of the tree, and developers and the sales reps will be in the bottom of the role hierarchy tree. Okay, so we are at profile things. So at profile, you can control custom app settings. What applications this profile users can access are visible, and what applications they can make it as default. What application they can make it as default application for this profile users. I am making marketing sales as profile default user application. So people logging into this profile marketing user profile can see the default application here as sales. Okay, and coming back to tab settings, here this is option. So there are three type of tab options. One is default on, default off, and tab hidden. So if you're selecting default on, it will display on your home tabs like this. If you're selecting on default off, so it will be available if you click on plus sign. You will see a lot of tabs in the complete page. That so the tab is disabled in this home screen like a main tab, but it will display in the tabs. If you click on plus sign, you'll go to the tab screen. You see all the tabs available to the current user, where it will that will be available in that side. So now I have explained about tab hidden, tab default on, default off, and tab hidden, right? Tab hidden is the option where you cannot see the tab directly, not at all, even if you click on plus sign also. The tab is completely hidden from the user. But the data, if you're searching from here on particular object related to the tab, can be visible on search. Okay, we are only disabling the tab options here. Again, when I click on override user personal tab settings, again, each and every user, he can set his tab structure personally, but I can override by clicking on this option. Okay, back to these are the custom tabs. I have made a default on application. Again, I see lot of administrative permissions in this page. What are administrative permissions? So it's not like a general user permissions. They are administrative means people who want to manage much data or complete organization data is called administrative permissions. He's an administrator and he want to do administrative permissions. Generally, if you are working on your own, that's called general permissions. So if you want to configure your own settings, that's called general permissions. But if you want to judge the permissions of all other people also, that's called administrative permissions. So if you want to access the API, enable access the APIs, that's a general administrative permissions. If you want to do some coding, it's administrative permissions. So means you can easily understand. I think from this, there's no need to explain. It clearly mentions manage and customize reports. If this option is not enabled, checked, this profile users cannot modify the reports or customize. They can only read only the reports. They can only see the reports. Create and customize list views means this option can create list views on the home page of every object. Sorry, if you're clicking on tab, you see some list views, right? What all the recently created lists, recently created records, last week records, last month records, that type of views you can create on your own. Okay, create dashboards and customize create and customize dashboard. This option is not enabled for this guy. Again, if I open the administrator profile, most of the options here will be enabled. For the marketing user, I see only the some options which are very close to marketing guy is enabled. What is a marketing guy will do? He generally do email marketing, right? So letterheads, public documents, public templates, email HTML templates, uh, outbound messages, all these options is enabled here because he is the marketing user license, marketing user profile license. Same way, if I go to the administrator, I see most of the options here in the administrative permissions will be enabled. All most of the 99% of these things will be enabled. Let's do that thing. Okay. Um, 1 second. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. So let's go on to the other profile. Um, let's go to the administrator profile, system administrator, right? Click on S. Sorry, the system administrator here. So if I go here, let's scroll down. See, this is a admin, so this is the administrative permissions. I see all the check marks here, right? Because this guy can see means most of the things are enabled and very few things are not enabled, because if I check this option, so password never expires, I can do that. But it's a complete organization wide stuff. That's not a big deal. Okay, you can check this also. What this means is, for all these profile users, the password won't expire at all. That's option is here. Generally, I don't want to do that for administrators also. That is the difference. And if you're coming to the general user permissions, that option will give you the simple features like activate contracts. It's like a personal things like from the user permissions, not like a overall administrative permissions. For suppose, um, but if you come here, they have a lot of licenses like manage package licenses, manage mobile configurations, manage letterheads. These are all comes under organization wide, right? So same thing. So you understand most of the things. I don't need to explain here in the administrative settings. But when you're going for the interview, please look on. Please open this profile site, and if they're asking what the profile users can do, you can simply say about this stuff by listing down, by telling, by speaking out one by one, by seeing the screen. Okay. Same way with the general permissions, but these are very specific to the user, not to the administrator. Um, whether they can import leads or not, whether they can run flows, run reports, send email or not, whether they can create topics, whether they can download, whether they can install app exchange apps or not. All these options are very simple, specific to user. You can just go through this. If you have any questions on this, please do message me. Okay, and coming next to the uh, general permissions, I see standard object permissions. What is standard object permissions? So we have a lot of standard objects in Salesforce, right? So we have some data in that. Uh, I can check this option. This is a CRUD access, create, read, write access. So if I'm keeping only read access, I can only see the data which is created by other guys, but I cannot create a new data, or I can modify or delete the new data, the existing data. So if when I'm selecting read, create, edit, delete all these options, I have the complete permissions to modify, delete, or read, create option. So see, when I'm clicking on edit, I should have read a permission, right? For clicking on edit, I should have read permissions. So if I click on edit, automatically it automatically selects read also. Let's do that thing from in the marketing profile. I have as I edited. Okay, click on save, because I cannot modify this here, but I can do this stuff in the later. There is other read button here. So the problem why I am not unable to edit this is the standard profile. So but I can show you how to do that by clicking on, so how to create the profile. Just come click on this, click on create new profile. So we have to clone existing profile. I just want to clone the marketing profile, right? Marketing user profile. It's called new custom marketing user profile. Okay, click on save. That is created. And now I want to click on edit to see, to edit my standard object, CRUD access, create read write access. So what if I click on uncheck this read? So this all the everything will be removed, because this is the basic read permission is the very basic thing for any object, right? Read is the basic
Right.
thing. After that, create, it will comes after that. So if I click on edit, it automatically enables read also. Uncheck this, uncheck this. If I click on create, automatically enables read. So read, if I can only click on read, you can only read. If I click on delete, it automatically enables read, edit, and delete. But here I'm see,
Wh-
this is the different option where people cannot create new records from their organization, but they can read and edit the existing information in the system. So you can consider this as the validators. Like,
Whatever modify all,
yeah, if I click on
so
modify
that
all, he can do modify all data, because Salesforce will have a lot of permissions to share the records also. This is CRUD access of the object. I am not talking about the record sharing. So if there are in an organization, if there are 500 people, every people creates their own records. If that is in the private sharing model, if I select modify all permissions, this profile users can see all the data irrespective of the data sharing. You got it? Modify all, view all means you can see all the data. Modify all means you can edit, delete everything. For suppose I am unchecking this edit stuff, if I'm clicking on view all, modify all, it automatically enables everything here except create. Okay,
but
you got
we
it?
just can modify, but we cannot create new, right? Just by just read the modify.
Yeah, you can, if you, the only generally view all, modify all things will be only available for data administration, uh, for the system administrators, not for the all people. Other, see, for suppose in a company there will be HR people. HR people will be having view all, modify all on the HR related data like performance life cycles, their salaries, pay slips, all this stuff. Finance people will be having view all, modify all data on the financial data, not on the other stuff like projects and leads, all this stuff. Sales people will be having view all, modify all on lead objects, not on the marketing objects. Okay, and the finance objects. Got it? Same way, uh, everything is controllable in Salesforce. Data administration is basic access. This is admit data, special access for complete organization data. Okay, and coming back to custom objects. So yeah, we have only three objects. The same way it will work in the same way as custom object permissions. CRUD access. If I click on it, it automatically enables edit, read, also. You will modify all. If I click on, sorry, if I click on this, it automatically brings all this up except create, because some people, if you see the sales system, some people will be there only to validate the system. If there's any problem, they will generally edit it. They are not going to create inside sales team, right? The marketing people are going to create the leads, so that option I can disable for inside sales team. Okay, let's do the same thing for Java applications. So if I click on this, it automatically enables all. Let's do one thing. I don't want to do view all. I just want to click view all. So it only enables read option by default. Okay, in this view all option he can see every data of this object, not on candidate object. So again candidate object also. So object wise I'm giving special access to this profile users. So what are the changes what I have done in this page will only affect to this custom marketing user profile. Clicking on save. So now this profile user have special permissions. which I've modified, right? Yeah, they have your modify on accounts object also, right? So I can see the people under under this user profile by clicking on view users. If I click on view users, see there's no people under, because I have only two people in my current organization. One is me, and the other guy is different. He's also a system administrator. Okay, how to add users to this? So if how to add multiple users, here it will show how many licenses available in your current organization. Salesforce. I
So
think I don't have.
one user cannot have two. One user cannot have two profiles, right? One user must
Yeah,
have
one
only
user
one
can
profile.
have only one profile. One user can have only one profile. Yeah,
Say for
and
example, you
one
have a
user can have
license,
only
right?
one role also. One role, one profile, and one license. Okay.
Right, right. Say for example, you have a one license, right? Salesforce license,
Hmm.
and if you assign it to one user, right? Say for example, user X.
Hmm.
Now later on, can you assign to different user the same
No, you
profile
cannot do
and
it.
same user?
You cannot do it. So what happens, right? If you come here, so this is all the available licenses here. But
Mm-hmm.
I see there's only one licenses left here for Salesforce user. Let's go to company information to see all this information, licenses availability, and so on what day you are going to expire. See all this stuff you can see here. But as it is a developer organization, I don't see the expiration date. It's completely free for lifetime. And I see that, see, these are all the user licenses availability which are active. Total licenses available, two. User licenses are 00000 and one. Charter
Okay,
free one.
okay. My question is like, no, here, say for example, Salesforce license, right? You have two active license.
Hmm.
So you right now you are assigning one license to user X, right?
Hmm.
Then can you delete that user and assign same license to
Yeah,
other
yeah,
user?
yeah. Whenever you are
You can do that, right?
deactivating, so whenever you are deactivating the user, there's no need to delete. There's
Uh-huh.
no option to delete in
Uh-huh.
user. If you want to remove
Okay.
a user, simply there's an active button on the top of user object. So come to
Okay. So
user.
when you deactivate the user, automatically the license will be empty, right? I mean, license
Yeah.
will be available to
So when you deactivate
others.
this user, see generally I have marked as user license equal to Salesforce. I have used two user license of Salesforce. As I'm deactivating this guy, I already one license is left in my company information. Do you see that?
Yeah.
See, I have used two
Yeah,
licenses.
yeah, I got it. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. And
And
the
so,
remaining licenses, I
do you
can see
have
the
any
remaining
question about
licenses
that?
here.
Right.
Yeah, please tell.
Yeah, yeah. And regarding this one, like right now you are using developer version, right?
Yeah,
And there are some other version, one unlimited, one enterprise, one developer,
yeah.
right?
So
So
that editions
in
is
real,
different. Yeah, I'll tell you about
okay,
editions.
in real life, usually what you guys use in the company,
You generally use
enterprise and
enterprise edition or unlimited editions based on your company. So if you're working with a very big company, they use unlimited licenses. Uh, when you some people will use unlimited enterprise licenses. Also small companies with 20 30 user licenses will use enterprise licenses.
okay, so I can have question in interview regarding that issue.
Hmm.
Can they ask like what is your version? I mean, what version you use in your last assignment, right?
What?
So I mean, in interview, they can ask me what version I use in my last assignment, right? They can ask that kind of question. So what should be the version I
What
use?
license you gonna use in?
No, no, no. What version? Like, as you
Oh, what
mentioned that
version? So what version is
develop.
something like, means people generally, if you are very new, it's very so if it is new, right? Generally Salesforce will give you the latest version. If you're taking the organization today, it will be 29th or 30th version. They'll give you the best, the very best new version today. Okay.
And what about the other things like
What?
to define it? Developer enterprise. What do you call them?
So even developer org also, if I generally I took my organization in 2008, so the organization which I took it automatically in 29th version now, because the Salesforce will push the upgrades automatically. Similarly, it's like you are using iPhone, so you have iPhone 6 and you will be getting some updates. They'll be pushing automatically, right? Same way, my version is updated to 29 from around 16 to 17 to 29 automatically
Okay,
every
29
quarter.
what? 29 developer enterprise or unlimited?
Develop what everything. So can you tell me again?
Yeah, 29 what? Is it a developer or enterprise or unlimited?
So generally, yeah, every version is, so this is the editions. Version is different. Version is the features, right? So
Okay, so
every
okay,
enterprise
okay,
version also will have
so
29th version, and this also having 29th version.
okay, okay. So that's my question. What edition you use?
I'm using the latest 29th version now. Okay.
Version and what edition?
Oh, I am using, like, I use it many editions, like based on different customers. For one customer, I used enterprise edition recently, but before that, I used limited editions also for big
Oh,
customers. It depends upon
okay.
your client. Actually, you can say that you use enterprise edition for most of your clients, because most people work for small customers. Okay.
Good.
As
That's
I'm in Salesforce, I worked with big customers, which is using very big unlimited licenses, right?
yeah. So mostly the company, the small company, they use enterprise. They don't use unlimited, right? And also they
Yeah,
don't
it
use
depends. So if
the
you are using 400, 500 licenses, they will try using unlimited licenses, right? They don't use enterprise license.
okay. What about developer? Do they use developer? No.
No, yeah, generally developer license, no one will, developer free, no one will use the enterprise people. Generally,
Uh-huh.
people, uh, enterprise projects, right? They will get some developer sandbox, single sandbox, testings, and a full copy sandbox. All the sandboxes from this, from their enterprise edition, that is having different
Mm-hmm.
benefits, that is having different size, different user limits also. Our developer free organization is only for developers who want to try new things in your home, all this stuff. You want to try something new, you have to do this. But enterprise developer org is different. So it's called developer sandbox, where you have to, where you can have multiple, more user licenses available. Salesforce platform, Salesforce licenses available, you can do coding with. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I got it. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. uh can we close the class for today? So I can, if you want to join the class, I have other class scheduled at after 1 hour, so you can join that class. Can you
What
join
is
that? Yeah.
what are you gonna what are you gonna be discussing over there?
So like I'm discussing about the relationships, very simple, these things. It's like they are very new people, they don't know much about Salesforce. So if I think you are good at that, so I don't, I mean, it won't be really useful for you, I
Yeah,
think so.
if you can ask me, after two classes, like when you wish to security setting, or like
Yeah. Hey, Saif, actually,
okay, you can
I have a
ask.
really having big problem with your voice. So
Yeah, yeah, sorry,
if you
sorry.
can
No,
use
what I'm saying,
microphone,
uh,
better microphone, it
yeah,
will be great.
now, yeah, I always have the problem. So sorry for that. No, but I'm saying, if you get into more details like setting, security setting, then you can tell me. I'll join in that
Sure,
class.
sure. I will
Okay.
invite you. Okay, no problem. Because I'm really close to that. I will explain. Okay.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
anyway, we get close to